Well, hey, howdy, hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by to join me today. I really do appreciate it. My name is Ellie and I'm a witch, and this over here is my teaching assistant Andy, and today I bring you another case of a town that doesn't exist. Today we're going to be talking about Hoer Verde. So let's set the scene. It's Brazil in 1923, and you live in a village that regularly trades with their neighboring village of Hoer Verde. One day, a shipment doesn't arrive, which is strange because shipments have always been on time up to this point. So, instead of waiting around for a boat, you decide to bring your end of the trade to them. When you dock, you were not met by anyone. In fact, as you look around, there is no one in the town. It's almost as if there were never any residents. It seems as if everyone had fled, but there's no clear reason as to why. That was until you got to the school. A gun was found on the ground and a message written on a board: "There is no salvation." Very mysterious, but there are of course some theories as to what happened. The black hole theory is probably the most outlandish. This theory believes that the residents of Hoer Verde were swallowed up by a black hole, taking them into a fourth dimension. Obviously, this is literally impossible, as even the smallest of small black holes would cause severe damage to the planet. Of course, no matter what the topic is, there is always going to be a theory involving aliens. The idea is that the residents were kidnapped in a mass abduction, which would explain why there were no signs of a struggle. It would be a unique event, as there has never been a large mass abduction before, and there were no reports that a UFO was seen in the neighboring villages. Then there is the evacuation theory, and this one is actually based in history. In the late 19th to early 20th century, Brazil was going through several revolutions. In 1922, Arthur de Silva Bernardes, who was facing opposition from all sides of the political sphere, was elected. The belief is that the village of Hoer Verde were attacked by revolutionaries. But there are a few problems with this theory. For one, the moves that the revolutionaries made have been well documented, and there has never been a mention of a raid on a village called Hoer Verde. Two, there was no civil war in 1923. There was one in 1922, and then one in 1924, but not one in 1923. A caveat I would like to add to that is that actually the Brazilian Civil War took place in 1932. There was a lot of smaller wars in the 20s, and that people kind of consider them civil wars, but the official Brazilian Civil War was 1932. Just like with Doveland, this is not actually a real town. Hoer Verde never existed, and there is no record of the village in Brazil. Also, verde is a Portuguese word meaning green, while Hoer is not. Putting it into Google Translate had me gagged. Google says that it is a German word meaning whore. Beyond that, there are no real sources, and the only mentions seem to be in random articles from countries far removed from Brazil, namely Russia and Japan. I think the idea of towns that don't exist is super interesting, but it tends to come down to it's fake and just a story, a type of folie à deux or Mandela effect, or a cartography thing, which is actually a huge thing that I will definitely make a video about at some point. This town is fake though, and a completely fabricated story that most people don't believe, especially the South Americans. And that is all that I have for you today. Thank you for joining me. I think that these stories are really interesting in that we just create like these towns that don't exist, and like some people genuinely believe that they've been to these towns, like Doveland. Doveland was a fascinating case of this. Hoer Verde is a little bit different because it is so much older. So most people aren't going to be alive to be able to be like, I was there. But I think that's really interesting. No idea what started this. It wasn't like, oh, this map I saw at some point had this town in it, but it just kind of came out of nowhere. And apparently it's not like a thing that's told in Brazil. I was on a Reddit forum of somebody telling this story, and everybody in the comments were like, yeah, I'm from Brazil and this isn't a thing, like we don't know what you're talking about. And so that's super interesting in my opinion. But yeah, I have some fun stuff coming out. I think this is going to be day 4 of my 13 days of Halloween. Didn't say that either. I'm doing 13 days of Halloween. This started on the 19th. This is like 23rd, I believe. If it's not, then that was really stupid. But no, I'm doing 13 days of Halloween and just doing a bunch of Halloween themed videos. So yeah, I still have some more videos to film. I have some more videos coming out. It's gonna be super fun. We're gonna be talking about books, we're talking about random places. The next video that I'm filming after this is gonna be werewolves, which is a long, long story, much longer than I thought it was going to be. But this video is short, so I'm gonna shut up now. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you know of any towns that don't exist. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.